Hi fellow travelers, Graham here. Today we're at the McClean Mill National Historic Site. Unfortunately, the Visitor Center and gift shop are closed right now, but we can still do a self-guided tour. Let's go and explore. The McClean Mill National Historic Site is a remnant from the early days of British Columbia's forest industry. It's a steam-powered sawmill, typical of many of the operations that existed in the province between the 1880s and 1940s. The mill site is located on 12.5 hectares of land and contains 35 buildings and structures, including the operational steam-powered mill. The land the mill sits on was purchased by Robert Bartlett McLean, who moved there with his wife Cora and his 3 sons, Arnold, Philip, and Walter. The mill was completed in 1927 and ran as a family-operated business, eventually taken over by Arnold, who then passed the business on to his son, Howard McLean, who continued running the mill until it closed in 1965. One of the main reasons that the aging mill finally closed was because of competition from larger lumber companies in the area. The mill was acquired by the city of Port Alberni in 1988 through donations from the McLean family and Macmillan Bloedel. And with the assistance of Parks Canada and Forestry Renewal BC, the sawmill was restored to a fully working condition. The other structures on site include a variety of wooden garages, storage structures, and outbuildings, as well as a cluster of residences and administrative buildings and a rail line. The mill pond, dam, and equipment have been reconstructed, and some of the residences and service buildings have also been preserved. Much of the original machinery and the mill buildings have survived, making it a rare example of early logging operations in British Columbia. For this reason, the McClean Mill was designated a National Historic Site in 1989. And on July 1st, 2000, the mill was officially open to visitors. Heading along the main road to the mill, you can see a group of buildings used by the people who lived on this site. All of these structures are original except for the R.B. McLean house, which was rebuilt into a modern facility for washrooms. Constructed around 1927, this cookhouse was one of the first structures to be built on site. The original building included a dining room, kitchen, and bedroom, as well as the pantry on the north side of the building. The first cook on site would have been McLean's wife Cora, who was well known for her donuts, a favorite of her husband's. The cookhouse would have been the center of camp life, and all of the workers on site would have stopped by for meals or a cup of coffee. This building is a house that Bill Morissette built for his bride in 1929. Throughout the years, many different workers and their families would have lived in this structure. Across the other side of the pond is where the majority of logging would have been done. Unfortunately, that area has been blocked for some work that's being done to restore the dam, but when it's open, you can see the log A-frame that was used like a crane to load logs from the trucks into the pond, as well as the original McLean steam donkey engine. The harvested logs would have been brought from the pond and up to the steam mill along this conveyor. Under the mill, you can see some of the steam-powered machinery that ran the equipment above. The main steam engine was built by Whelan Machine Works in 1890. That engine powered the head saws as well as the belts and drives that ran the other machinery. Within the mill was all the equipment that would complete the 3 steps required to manufacture lumber. First, the raw logs would be cut into slabs. These slabs were then trimmed and cut into boards before finally the boards would be cut to standard lengths. The mill manager decided what type of lumber needed to be cut to fill a particular order, but each step of the process would be directed by an employee whose job it was to decide how to get the most value from each piece of wood. On the west side of the mill, lumber would get dipped in a chemical bath to prevent mold and discoloration of the wood. Then it would be stacked to dry before getting shipped to market. Some of the shipping was done by truck, but the McClean mill was also connected by rail. Rail cars are pulled out to the main line by a small locomotive that was built by Westminster Iron Works in 1928. It was nicknamed the Buddha because it was run by a small gas engine made by Buddha Manufacturing. Right now, the McClean Mill is only open for self-guided tours, but here's hoping that it can open again soon and restore some of the services that were available in recent years, including demonstrations of the mill in action, tours on the Alberni Pacific Railway, a gift shop, canteen, and celebration space, as well as running other educational programs. Of course, keeping up with the maintenance of the mill and the many historic buildings is a monumental task, and it would be great to see this historic site get the attention and funding it deserves to continue its restoration. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, we'll be headed off on another adventure soon. Check out our interactive map so you can see other historic sites that we've been to. Until next time, it's time to exit through the gift shop.